Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Harish, and in this channel I talk about various ways in which you can build pretty much anything from an app to a website or an automation without writing a single line of code. And today we are going to look at Adalo, which is a tool that lets you build apps without writing code as usual, right? And I'm going to show you a very basic example where we will import data from a Google Sheet and build an app out of it using Adalo. Adalo has a lot of premium features, and again, for the free application you will be restricted to using Adalo's branding and limited to 50 records per app. So if you have a requirement of bigger data set, then you have to become a pro member of Adalo. Keep that in mind before we get started. In some of our previous apps, you looked at building websites from just Google Sheets data. Today we are going to use Adalo as a tool, right? So let's get started. Great. This is the data that I have in a Google Sheet. Just a list of some really cool places to visit in the world, and there is the name of the place, the location, the description, and the image, right? Very basic data. You may have complex data, but this is just for you to understand how to use this data and build an app in Adalo, right? First step is to download this as a CSV and keep it aside, right? Because you can't really import a Google Sheet directly into Adalo. So once you're done saving that, go to Adalo and log in. Create a free account for testing it out and log in. Once you log in, you should be able to see all your apps or be taken to a last app that you were building. I'm going to create a new app and call it a mobile app. You can also build a desktop web app. What we'll do is see how the mobile app is built, and it's going to be pretty much the same for the desktop app. We'll start with a blank one and I'll click next. You can always use any of the existing templates that they have, right? And go ahead and get started with something that is almost ready. These are the colors that you can change. I'm going to do World Wonders here as the app name and click create, right? You can always define your design language and update the colors as you like. For the app itself, I will not need these screens, so what we can do is just skip to the main screen and delete these screens. I'm just selecting those and deleting them. Now I have only the main screen, right? That is right here. Now in the main screen, what we will need is we have data of locations, right? There is an image, so what we'll do is we'll use a simple list, right? Drag and drop the simple list here, and then in the left column you will see database, right? Click on the database, add a collection and say, name this anything that you like, and that is something that you can remember later. Click on 0 records and click on import CSV, right? Or you can also download the CSV once you update or make changes to the existing data here, right? Import CSV, select a file, or I can just do drag and drop here, and then name is name, location is right. So as you can see, there are no options for me to import, right? So what you can do is, before you import, you can add a property, right? Location is also text type of property, so I have saved it. Then the next one is, let's do image, and let's call this image. And then there is a description, so we'll add a text and add a description. As you can see, there are multiple other options as well. Depending on your data, you can use any of these values, right? So now we'll go back to importing again. Import CSV, drag and drop the CSV here, and then these are auto selected for you so that you don't have to do it again. Now import data. This will import your existing data, right? As you can see, you can find all your data here, right? And now if you see, image is not loaded because it was expecting a file, but we gave it a link, right? So you can choose to upload an image here specifically for all of these, or what we can do is let's just import it as a link instead, if there is an option for a link, right? Let's try that. As you can see, I am also exploring the tool along with you. So first step here is to go back and change this. We don't want the image because it is expecting an image file, right? Instead we'll just do text because it's just a link for the image, right? And if your data Google Sheet has image file, then this will auto import, right? So let's see if this works. Now let's go back and import CSV. Once again drag and drop and then import data. Now the data is perfectly imported, as you can see. Now let's do done, and then here we will have to link what we imported. That's it. What is the list of these? Is a list of all places. So filter is all places that you have. Sorting is by name A to Z. You can also sort by location, but there is no maximum number of items. We'll just leave it blank so that it loads all the data, and then you can always add the appropriate name here, right? Link the name location. So the name is going to be name, which is already place name, right? So we don't have to add it again. And then there is subtitle. Subtitle is nothing, so we will hide it. Then on the left section there is a avatar type. This is a URL, and our URL will be image. So the image will load here on the left, and if there is no image, show a placeholder image. You can upload a placeholder image if there is no image, or just don't show anything, right? Actions is where what happens when the user clicks on it, right? So if the user clicks on it, we can do all of these things, right? Create a new screen, or send the user to a website, or create a new item in the database, or update an item in the database, or show a notification, or just create a custom action, right? Or if you want the user to share, you can also share, right? And then that's it. We've linked. So this allows us to add name, image, and we also have a description, right? Description, I think we can skip for this example, but you know what it is. In the case of subtitle, I think we'll show the location for now, right? So that's, we don't need subtitle there. So that's, we've added our app data, and we'll quickly go to settings and see what else we can add. There is a short description that we can add, and then a logo for our app. And yeah, we cannot disable this because we're on a free plan, and then app access is available only to me, right? So now it looks like our app is ready, and in case you change your mind and want to change the colors and the fonts, you can always do that here. And now the last thing is to preview. Once you preview, you can see how it will appear on a mobile screen, right? Hopefully this should load our data, and that marks perfect. Since there is no action for clicking here, we are not able to see any of the description, right? What we can do is we can quickly add a screen, I guess, where we can show the description as well. Let's see how to do that. So I'll go back here and click on this and add a screen. The screen is going to be blank, or let's see if there is a template. Yeah, this template I think works for us. So I'm going to click on this and name it place details, right? And now this is the place that should show up when the user clicks on any of the item here. So we'll go back here, or first update this, right? Image source can be URL, and this will be places, or let's actually use this and update the action first, right? Click link to place details, transition, and send the data. Yes, now this is done. Now here in this, what we can do is current places image, right? Current place is where it detects what the first screen has sent. Essentially it means I click on one, let's say Taj Mahal as the place, it will send the data of Taj Mahal to this screen so that we can read more information about Taj Mahal. I'm going to remove this and say current places description. And we can also add another item here, and instead of share, we can change the button to share, and on click what we can do is create an action, right? And say this is share a button. This is a share button, and the source is going to be current places image, right? So it will share the image of the place. Now I'm just going to drag and align it in the center. Description shows up here. We can also add a simple text component here that shows the location of the app. Now this is obviously current places location, as you can see by now, and we loaded the image. We've said yeah, we should also probably, let me just remove this. We should also probably show the name of the place, right? I think we'll just drag this a little below this a little and this also a little below, and add the place detail in a much bigger format, I guess. Let's do text again and place it here, and then change this to show up in the center. So this says size is this, multi-line auto width. Okay, now let's do this can be current places name, right, and formatting is going to be in the center with the font size is extra black. Let's do heading font, right. Now we'll probably change this to medium, I guess, right. So that's pretty much done. Now let's preview this app and see how it works. Now this should show all the places that we added in the data, and then once we click, let's say on this, right, that shows up full data. Great. That's how amazing. That's how we build an app using Adalo and Google Sheets. If you've learned something new from this tutorial, consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like to this video, and see you in the next one. Peace.